is going on, Obasi Posse? I'm glad to have you back. If you're new here and enjoy this content, please consider subscribing and supporting me on Patreon. Your patronage really does help. So I want to get straight into the video, and I want to start out with this article right here. I have a lot of news and a lot of things to cover with you guys on this particular topic, which is the upcoming food shortage that no one seems to be talking about. And I have an overwhelming amount of articles that I want to get through, and I hope that I can present them in a cohesive way for you guys to follow along in a way that makes sense. So I do apologize if it's too much information at once, or if it's kind of jumping from one end to the other. I'm doing my best, and this is my first time filming in this type of format, sharing my screen with you guys. So hopefully it will all work out great. So I want to start out with this article that you guys can see on my screen right here, which is Event 201. I'm sure many of you have heard of this event. It was a pandemic exercise, and we are in September now. So I know that this event went trending, and you guys have heard about it, how basically it was an event in the past that kind of predicted essentially what's going on right now. And I want to talk about an event very similar to Event 201 that was not trending at all on media. I haven't seen it anywhere. And I just came across this through doing a lot of my research. And like Event 201, I just want to bring back John Podesta. You guys, I'm sure, have heard about him on my channel. Disgusting. He's a disgusting human being. And if you don't know why he's disgusting, take a look at some of my other videos. However, John Podesta plays a big role into a scripted world. Like, I feel like we are playing his script, into his script. Now, if you guys didn't know, there was a simulation very similar to Event 201 called the Food Chain Reaction Game. Now, the Food Chain Reaction Game, if you go on the website, the account actually was suspended. We could see right here, if you type into foodchainreaction.org, if we look up right there, the account is suspended, perhaps because we are entering into that simulation as we speak. And if you guys don't know, the Food Chain Reaction Game was predicted for 5 years from now. So it was in 2015, and it was expected to hit 2020, year 2020. And it says this year, the world's food system is under increasing stress, extreme weather, okay? Remember how I talked on a video just yesterday about quote unquote climate change, okay? Extreme weather, increasing demand on limited natural resources, and political conflict are undermining food production and creating shortages. Prices are skyrocketing and social unrest is growing. Populations are at risk. Now, I am just absolutely floored by just this first sentence. And no one is talking about the food chain reaction game that John Podesta definitely hosted. Now, he hosted an event, and it was through his Center for American Progress. And this was also funded by George Soros. If you guys haven't seen my Eating Pizza with Soros video, check that out. It's basically my reaction video on how he's funded a lot of different things within the Democratic Party and these civil unrest, these riots, stuff like that. It goes very, very deep. I've talked about him a lot on my channel as well. But this is a simulation just like Event 201 that no one is talking about. And I'm seeing, and I have been studying this story for months, since the beginning, the end of March. And I've been trying to compile all this information and studying what's happening in the world around me. I'm curious in the comments below what's going on in the world around you. Please comment and share this video on the food shortage, guys. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about the upcoming food shortage? Okay, so the account was suspended. Now, John Podesta is just very known for basically, he loves to role play, creating these scenarios in which we see ourselves falling directly into the scripts that he is directing. Now we can look here at this article. John Podesta plays Biden in a doomsday plan if Trump is reelected. John Podesta, a consummate technocrat and former member of the Triliteral Commission, played the role of Joe Biden in a strategy exercise, okay, to determine what leftists will do if Trump is reelected. The outcome resembles a scorched earth policy. I really like this word scorch. What's happening in California right now, by the way? Oh, that's right, climate change. Whoops. I just thought this was really, really disturbing. Now, this article was posted on August 7th, 2020. Democrats are prepared to burn the country to the ground rather than accept another loss to President Trump in November, and are wargaming doomsday scenarios in advance for the most important election in American history. Now, I have so much to say about this topic alone, but I'm going to try to keep this very narrow focused on this upcoming food shortage. I just want to really kind of plant that seed in your brain that Podesta is very much a scenario player. He very much creates these scenarios, these games, these themes, these events that really play into our reality currently. And if you guys don't know what Holodomor is, it was basically known as the famine genocide in Ukraine. This basically was a man-made famine that killed an unbelievable amount of people, and this was created. It wasn't just a natural food shortage. We ran out of resources. No, this was a man-made famine, genocide by a tremendous amount of definitions, killing by hunger and killing by starvation, murder by hunger or starvation. That is exactly what the translation of Holodomor literally means. Murder by hunger or starvation. It was absolutely disturbing, and it's definitely a real thing. So if you're thinking that this video is a little bit outlandish, or if this John Podesta scenario or scene is over the top or too conspiratorial, this has happened in history. Okay, research this. This is the most recent version of what I think is to come. And we can see that here by looking at the articles and what's going on with farming. Right here, the union threatens to boycott of foster farms following COVID-19 outbreak. The U.S. farmers leave fields as COVID-19 wrecks crop prospects. Now, there's mandates going on with the farmers, basically pulling farmers out of their farms with the crops unharvested. This is happening worldwide. And workers pulling out of meat factories. There's been mandates on Tyson as well. I think right here, mandatory coronavirus testing to start at Tyson. Now, this was in April. Again, I've been compiling this information for a set of months. And that's why I just feel like this video could be overwhelming. It is overwhelming for me to try to execute it in a way that makes sense cohesively for you guys. So again, I do hope I'm doing it okay so far. If you're staying with me, please give this video a like. It really helps with the algorithm. So we see mandatory coronavirus testing starts at Tyson. Okay. Pandemic problem. Farm workers leave fields due to COVID-19 testing mandate. Okay. They are pulling farmers out of the fields with unharvested crops. And I believe here we have labor advocates plan nationwide meat boycott to promote workplace safety, calling effort Meatless May. I believe they have also been euthanizing chickens. And this, again, is happening everywhere. And there's so many different things where they're banning agriculture. And they're saying, and they're using, again, the COVID. I talked about this in several videos. The COVID umbrella term to cover. It's like an umbrella term for an excuse. It's a scapegoat. COVID is a scapegoat. Climate change is a scapegoat. Okay, let's continue on. If you guys haven't known about this either. And it's the Rockefeller Foundation right here, .org, reset the table, meeting to the moment to transfer the U.S. food system. Now, if you go through this entire document, which was released on July 28th of 2020, you will see, again, scapegoat excuses. You will see that this document literally says in 3 easy steps that the whole purpose of this document is to take over the food supply. Once you take over the food supply, they want to shut down the farms, which is exactly what's happening. Okay, farmers are suffering everywhere. And there's weird weather things going on. So over here in the States, in the United States of America, we had a very peculiar storm in Idaho. It was, I think, the derecho.
Hi, my name's Bailey. I'm getting ready to take a shower at noon on a Friday with a lantern in the dark because I don't have power, and neither does about 500,000 Iowans. We suffered a natural disaster on Monday that there is absolutely no national news coverage on, so I'm going to talk to you about why you should care what is happening in Iowa right now. Early Monday afternoon, Iowa was hit with a derecho, which is basically a land hurricane in Iowa. My house was one of the lucky ones. We just had a bunch of trees go down in our driveway, but there are so many Iowans that are struggling right now. To put Iowa into perspective, we're number one in corn production, number one in soybean production, number one in pig production, and number one in egg production. And so far, almost 50% of the state's crops were destroyed in the storm. This picture was taken a couple days ago from space. The light green shading you see there is flattened fields. You can see it from space, and there is still no national news coverage.
And farmers just have been going through the ringer this year. And we really have to take care of them and know what's going on with that, because they're the reason that we are fed and alive is through farming. So the Rockefeller reset the table. They want to take over the food supply. They want to shut down the farms and the ranches, the meat plants, etc. You can see all this going on. And then essentially take over, control the food supply. So if you guys haven't seen this document, definitely check it out. And then we go over to a different act that was released, the Food Supply Protection Act of 2020. Now, if you go down here and see the co-sponsors, it's just a group of lovely people that I have absolutely no faith in. So we could always see that here. And what it says, as the title is introduced, a bill to protect the continuity of food supply chain of the United States in response to this outbreak and for other purposes. Keyword here is other purposes. What purposes are these purposes? I have no idea, but we might get hit with that excuse of we can't unveil the contents of said bill until it is passed, which we've heard that excuse many, many times before. So this is a thing that happened that doesn't seem to get as much coverage as it should. So I wanted to touch on that. And we go here and things just keep continuing to get worse. So we see German farmers face possible pig culls as African swine fever is discovered. So that's happening over in Europe, which means that China, as you can see in this article, stops the import of German pork after swine fever case. Okay, so that's quite an issue. That's what's happening. We also see Australia right now says that they're going to be running out of rice by the time Christmas hits. So let's see if this article will pull up. I don't know what it's dragging. Warning, Australia is running out of rice and may not have a single homegrown grain left by Christmas. Now, the key word here is homegrown. The unfortunate thing, and many of you will be like, well, a lot of countries import rice, a lot of countries import this and import that. Now, the problem is when especially being Australia, is that when you depend on other countries to supply you with food, it automatically becomes a problem. And dependency on certain things as big as food supply, especially in a day and age when there's all this political and civil warfare going on, it is a big, big issue to be concerned about. Check out these empty shelves. Now, I will be doing continuation videos on what's going on around me because I actually am a prepper. I do prep, and I actually am looking to live off the grid very soon. And if you guys are interested in videos on how to go about that process as a beginner, because I am as well, I will love to kind of take you on my journey with that. But that's another day, another video, and another time. However, if you guys haven't seen or just noticed, please take notice. Go to your grocery store. And when you go to your grocery store, aren't you noticing that there's shortages? I guarantee if you have a family member or someone you know that works in the grocery store, they're reporting that they are importing and stocking their shelves with brands they have never worked with before. They are stacking their shelves and putting brands that are just off-name brands, haven't worked with them before, and they are having a lot of empty shelves. And you can see them kind of spreading things around to make it look like there's still enough food, that nothing is going on. And then you could see that for example, let's just use cream cheese as an example. You can have your popular brands of cream cheese all out, and then they fill the shelves with a cream cheese that not a lot of people buy. It's a less popular type of cream cheese, a type of flavor of cream cheese, to kind of mask the fact that things are in fact emptying out. So that is definitely what's happening. There is definitely a food shortage. So I want to go here. I'm over in Chicago in the United States. As you guys know, that is unfortunately a blue state. But Chicago, I don't know if I have the link right here, center stockpile of food. Over here in the United Center, we are stocking an obscene amount of food, but for what? Do you guys see this picture? Can we just, do you see, this is where, like, this is the United Center in Chicago. This is the main sports center where a lot of sports, it's huge. It's huge inside. Look at all these pallets of food, okay? It's not only happening in Chicago. We are seeing this here from peanut butter to applesauce. Washington State stockpiles tons of food for the need ahead. For the need ahead. When was this article published? It wasn't published in the beginning quarter of this year. This just came out August 10th. And there's more and more articles that are coming out like this constantly. And it says Washington State's new food warehouse. There's enough Jif peanut butter to make nearly 3 million sandwiches. Pasta boxes stretched to the ceiling, 100,000 in all. Large stacks of treetop applesauce, pancake mix, and canned green beans sit on pallets like soldiers waiting to be sent into duty. Now, what need ahead are they exactly talking about? This is a big thing and it's not getting coverage, guys. Please share this video. This is a big story I've been working on for literal months. Literal months I've been following this. I have created another separate video, so please make sure to subscribe to stay with my content. Also, if this video is taken down, it will be uploaded on BitChute and my Patreon. Please subscribe, share, support, whatever the case may be. I am going to show you guys kind of my stockpile. I actually bought a second freezer because not only, I want to talk about, not only is there going to be a food shortage, because so many things are happening, especially with this election, and we go back to John Podesta's food chain reaction event that he predicted. And again, he predicted event 201 that did happen. Okay, this is happening now. And it's so interesting that this account was suspended when we seem to be in this reality right now. And I don't want to be scripted into a reality. None of the members of the Obasi Posse do. And that's why I'm bringing this information forward to you guys. Real journalism at its best. And I just, you know, I bought another freezer. I'm prepping, and I just want to share this video with you guys to kind of start this series. I will be doing several parts to this. There's a lot of information to cover. And I will be doing my little prep videos to show you guys what I've been doing to prep. And again, not only is the food shortage happening, but inflation is expected to happen. I want to do videos covering the possible transition out of the petrodollar system. What's going to be happening with that as we go into the digital slavery currency system where things are just getting tracked. I've talked about this several times on my channel. Please take a look at my other videos. If the titles don't seem too fitting, check it out. I've been censored many times, so I had to change the title keywords quite a bit. So just click on the video and skim through. I'm sure you'll find something there. But the cost of these food items are expected to go up because of the inflation, because of the economy. And what's happening is that in the economy, and then this is a whole nother video, but the central bank deep state economic agenda is trying to keep the people down, not have enough money, therefore not enough money to buy food, which will predictably go up in costs, not even being able to buy, not only for the economic reasons, but because of the lack of it due to governmental control. And the lack of it causes a higher demand. When there is less supply and higher demand, prices naturally go up. So I just, you know, if you have extra money, just start buying some extra things that can last a while on the shelves. And I hope you guys find this this video very informative. I will be doing other parts, so please subscribe to this channel. And I have a backup channel known as the Obasi Posse. All my links to all my social media are down below. And give this video a like, a thumbs up, and a share. More people need to start talking about this. And I hope that I gave a bit of information for you guys to work with here. So definitely let me know in the comments below if you want to see how I'm particularly prepping and different things along those lines. This ties into a lot of different events, and I really want to put this out as a big exposure story. So with that being said, I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Please consider supporting me on Patreon. It helps keep my channel demonetized, away from censorship, and keeps me going with this research. I will definitely see you guys in a next upcoming video. Thanks for watching.